There are only 4 ways I would focus on to get my first 1,000 users if I launch an app today. And no, I'm not talking about posting your app on Reddit. I'm not talking about telling your friends and family. And I'm not talking about joining a bunch of Discords and groups and dropping your links everywhere. Because let's say you do all of that and somehow you do get your first 1,000 users. But now what? Are you gonna find another family? The way you get your first 1,000 users should ideally be the same way you can get your next 10,000 users and then your next 100,000 users. Because you're not just trying to validate your app, you need to start validating distribution. So if I was launching an app today, there are only 4 things I would focus on. The first thing would be founder-led organic. If you have basically no money to market your app, you should be making the content yourself. And this is what I see a lot of founders do. They build an app and then they start making content for other founders. Day 37 of building my startup.
Here's how I built this feature.
And here's how much money my app made today. And that's cool, but why would the customer that you should be targeting even give a fuck? Let's say you're building a weight loss app, right? Why would your customer care about how many Claude credits you use? They want to lose weight, so just make content about that. Like why they're not losing weight, what type of food should they be eating, what's wrong with their current diet. You should make content about the problem your app solves, and then your app automatically transitions into being the solution. And that's the important thing, because you're not making content because you're an app founder. You should make content because you're trying to distribute your app. And once you do find a format that works, then milk it. Don't try different stuff. If one type of video keeps getting you a bunch of views and it keeps getting you installs, then just make a similar one. Change the hook, change the topic, change the CTA, but just make sure that the format is still the same. Because now you have something that's genuinely repeatable and eventually you can start bringing in creators. And now since you made that format yourself, you know exactly how you would be training those creators to make similar videos as you. And this is already completely different from asking your cousin or your brother to download your app and spread the word, because it's not gonna happen. The second thing would be faceless organic. And most of you guys are probably gonna like this style because you genuinely don't even have to show your face to make organic content for your app. Like look at Cal AI, for example. They're making millions a month, right? And they have access to a big amount of budget, but they're still utilizing the faceless content because it works. It's cheap, it's easy to produce, and it's repeatable. Basically, everyone can make that type of content if it doesn't show your face. And most importantly, it gets a lot of attention. And then you can look at RizzGPT, for example. They found a very simple way to make faceless slideshows that genuinely print for them. And whenever they found that winning format, they didn't try to find another format. No, they kept doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then eventually they gave it to other creators that could literally reproduce the same type of format videos. And that's why I think where a lot of founders completely misunderstand, you don't need to try different formats here and there. Find the winning one and just keep reproducing the exact same thing. Because at the end of the day, the video doesn't have to look good. The faceless posts don't have to look good. At the end of the day, the target is to acquire as much users as possible. So if you find a faceless format that is genuinely working for you, and how you can find those is look at your competitors, look at what other people in different niches are doing, and just try to copy them. Just post a bunch of different formats until you find the winning one, and just keep posting that same winning one until it fatigues. And eventually, once you have the winning one, you can do the same thing RizzGPT did. Hire a bunch of people that they don't even have to be experienced, because it's so easy to make faceless content. And once you do that, you literally have a system that's bringing you users every day. And the third one would be paid ads. Paid ads are literally the fastest way to figure out whether you have scalable distribution or not. And honestly, once the budget makes sense, then this is literally my favorite way of building an app or scaling an app, because it's literally pay to win. Because let's say you can spend $5 and acquire a customer that pays you $20. You can just keep giving $5, $10, $50, $100. It's not like we're gonna be sitting there waiting for the algorithm to bless us on our next TikTok or our next reel. You literally have a system where you can put money into and get more back. And honestly, that's what makes paid ads powerful. But one thing, paid ads are not gonna fix your product if it's actually bad. If people install your app and they don't use it and they don't sign up and they don't start trial, they don't purchase, then it's not because of the paid ads. It's literally because of your app. Paid ads are not gonna magically save you. It doesn't work like that. If anything, you should literally do organic, fix those metrics first, and then do paid ads, because that's when paid ads literally make sense. It's literally just gonna amplify whatever you have. So if you have something good, then it's gonna make it better. And if you have something bad, then it's literally just gonna be worse for you. And that's actually another reason why I like paid ads so much. The feedback is incredibly fast, because with the organic, you can post a video and maybe get like 400 views, but then what did you learn? Maybe your hook was bad, maybe your format was bad, maybe your CTA was bad. But with paid ads, it's so easy. And as soon as you get those installs, it becomes so easy to figure out why people are not converting, why they're not signing up, whatever. You're not gonna be stuck figuring out whether that format works or the hook works or not. Instead, you see it instantly. Because with organic, if the first 400 viewers didn't like or engage, maybe the ICP was wrong, right? So you would have to test the same format several times. But with paid ads, you're paying for impressions. So eventually you realize, okay, this format is actually not working, right? You won't sit there and just guess that maybe the ICP was not targeted or maybe the format is not working. Instead, you'll know that the format is actually not working and know exactly able to fix. Now, the fourth one is ASO, basically App Store optimization. But I actually don't look at ASO as the first three. I look at ASO as a long-term multiplier, basically. Let's say you're driving installs through TikTok or Instagram or paid ads. You're basically bringing people into your App Store every single day, right? And at the same time, if you've actually optimized your App Store presence and you've thought about searches you want to appear for, and you've optimized your title and subtitle, your description images make people want to install the app. And once that's actually done properly, you're giving yourself another source where people can find you organically on the App Store's discovery list. But I wouldn't build an app and just perfect my ASO and think that I'll get a bunch of users because of that. No, you need traction first, and then once Apple or App Store sees that your app is actually going viral, or people are actually spending time in your app and they're buying stuff, and App Store sees it as a green flag, right? So they give you a higher keyword ranking, a higher category ranking. You would initially want to build an actual acquisition engine and have a good App Store optimization alongside that. Because if you've already created so much demand for your app outside of the App Store, you might as well just use that demand and capitalize on that and grow your App Store keyword rankings and all of that. And that's why I look at ASO as the multiplier and not really the acquisition engine. And one thing you need to realize, and it's a mistake I see many founders make, is that they try literally everything. They post on TikTok for like 3 days, nothing happens, and then they go to Reddit, they go to YouTube, they go to IG, then they try influencers, they try paid ads, and then they go back to TikTok and wherever. And this all happens within like 7 days. And after a month, they've tried like 7 different acquisition channels and not gotten good at a single one. I mean, look at the apps that are actually good at distribution. When they find something that works, they keep milking the fuck out of it. And that's what I mean, because we all know that all of these acquisition methods work. You just have to get good at one of them. And once you're good at one of them, you can outsource that work and get good at the second one. Like if slideshows work, then make another slideshow. If faceless videos work, then make another faceless video. If founder-led content works, then make another one. Just keep doing whatever is working. If one ad angle keeps working for you, then print 20 variants of it. Obviously, eventually things will fatigue, but then you just adapt. But do not abandon something that is genuinely working and getting you users. Because if it keeps working, then just keep doing it until it doesn't, and then you adapt. And so this is why I disagree with a bunch of advice that is there online to get your first users. They tell you post on Reddit, tell your friends, tell your family, post on Product Hunt, join a bunch of Facebook groups. I mean, that's fine. Can those things get you users? The answer is yes. And if you're trying to get feedback on your product, some of those channels could genuinely be helpful. But it's not the same thing as building an acquisition method or a system. Let me give you an example. If there are 2 app founders, founder number 1 has 1,000 users. He got them from his friends, his family, maybe a post on Product Hunt, maybe on Reddit, maybe on Facebook. Maybe somebody randomly shouted his app out and he got a bunch of users. But now everything has died down because there is no repeatable channel. And he has no clue how he's going to get his next users. But then you got founder number 2 who has 300 users. But he just figured out the one TikTok format that actually gets him users every single time he posts. I mean, which founder would you rather be? Because me personally, I'm taking founder number 2 every single day. Because the important part isn't your amount of users, especially in the beginning. The important part is knowing how you're gonna get your next users. And if you understand that, you can get from 300 to 3,000, 30,000, 300,000. And that's honestly the entire point. Your first user should not validate your product. They should validate your distribution. Because if you get 1,000 users and you generally do not know how you're gonna get your next users, then you're basically back at 0. So if I was launching an app today and I wanted to get my first 1,000 users, then those are the 4 things I would focus on.